Riverdale sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We've provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we're back.
We are back.
Would you like to tell everyone what you did? I make it sound like
I did something.
You pooped on the carpet or something.
Oh, God. So we went into the I got sick first, right before Christmas, week before. And then...
I think our dog fell.
Uh-oh.
Go check.
He's okay.
We're safe. Everyone's good.
Double-checked everything. So then Emily got sick over Christmas, pretty much.
Brenton gave me his cold and our flu. We got our flu shots, so if it was the flu, we didn't have fevers.
Yeah.
But it did linger.
Yes, it did. It lingered all the way until after Christmas. I got an ear infection like I was a toddler.
Just a little fun little New Year infection.
Yeah.
It was right after New Year's, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like, I woke up one day, it's like, my ear's kind of hurting. But I get like bad impacted earwax. So I was like, I think it's probably just that. So I did like a ear rinse with hydrogen peroxide. Woke up next day, I'm like, oh no, this hurts.
He was doing the thing little kids do where they tug on their ear. He's like, my ear hurts. And I'm like, oh, it really hurts. Like, uh-oh.
I also couldn't hear out of it. And so when I get really impacted earwax, I usually kind of have to pull my ear a little to be able to hear. So fun times, but we are back.
And not only did Brenton have an ear infection that they gave him antibiotics internally for, but they're like, it kind of looks like you have a swimmer's ear type of ear infection. Mm-hmm. So they gave him drops. So he was doing the double ear infection.
Yeah.
Which is just like really, I mean, I think that's just like really fun, special, and unique of you.
Thank you.
As an adult, to have an ear infection is kind of like fun, unique. You know, it's kind of like how you got croup well until you were like, what, 10?
Yeah, like 12.
Yeah, and that's like, I feel like that's more of like a baby thing.
Yes, it is.
But you're
like, why did it keep happening?
You're breaking barriers all the time medically.
That's right. My father has osteoporosis and I had anemia. So like we really just...
You break gender barriers. You break medical. Yeah, you're very impressive, baby.
Exactly. What can I say? The men in our family are trendsetters.
Meanwhile, I just have lingering mucus and a cough, and I think I might have one forever. I won't, actually. It's going to be better.
It's going to get
It's getting better right now. We got to talk nicer. That's one of my goals this year for myself. I've just decided right now with all of you is I got to say, I can say sassy things, but I got to also say positive things. Because what you say is what you start to believe.
That's right.
Because you hear it. And so I got to start hearing nicer things in my head. So I got to start saying nicer things.
That's right. So just make sure to recognize the joy and the positive things, and hopefully we'll all get through this.
We're going to all get through this.
Yes, we're going to all get through this.
We are going to get through this.
Yeah.
We got to. We're not just talking about being sick anymore. I hope you understand.
We're talking about the U.S. and the world by proxy.
Yeah.
Your own little corner of the hell place. I was going to wrap up. The reason I was getting croup as a kid well into like about 12 years old is because I had allergies that my parents didn't know about. Really bad to dust, and we had a cat for most of those years, and I'm really allergic to cats. So, if you have a child that's getting sick all the way up until, with croup, like 10, then maybe check them for allergies.
I feel like it's more common now for people to check their kids for allergies. Yeah. Like, we found out I had a peanut allergy because I ate peanut butter, and I threw up on the girl next to me in first grade. Yeah. They weren't checking for that stuff. I just said, I don't like how peanut butter smells, and no one made me eat it until then.
Yeah, that is not an indictment of my parents. That is the times.
Oh, no. I didn't think it was an indictment of your parents.
Just for the audience.
Okay.
Yeah, because...
You could hold them on other charges.
That's right, exactly. And we're gonna do this
like anemia and osteoporosis.
That's right. And we like to use this podcast as a place to really come at people when they can't get back at us. All right. So should we get
anything to say about my family too while we're here?
They didn't give me osteoporosis. Well, I don't have osteoporosis.
You
It
don't.
is something to watch out for because my father does.
Yeah, well, my father has early onset dementia, so
There is that.
we're doing great over here.
Yep.
Lots of fun medical discoveries. The fun part about getting older and like getting to your 30s is you start learning what's wrong with your parents physically and mentally, if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Some of us learned what was wrong with our parents mentally around age 10. But then you start to learn, oh God, that can happen to me. Is that genetic?
Exactly. Totally.
You get to play the fun game of, is that genetic?
It's a fun time.
It's a fun time. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do my word puzzles over here and hope for the best.
Well, to distract from our ongoing health issues.
Well, we don't have any health issues right now. We are
Not-
healthy.
Sorry, not distracting. Just rerouting from.
Yeah. And we're grateful for that.
Exactly. We're so thankful for Riverdale.
Honestly, in the world we live in right now, it is nice to have a ridiculous distraction.
It is.
And I will say Riverdale, it does deliver on the ridiculous part.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is back to kind of like how I feel about like the good parts of it's like season 2, where it's like the show's getting weirder, but it's like manageable.
Yes.
It's back to being manageable again. We kind of like, we fought the bear. We had the like, we normalized this weird world, and now we've kind of come back down.
Yeah. So we'll get into the cast this week. Talk about a few new people in town, namely Hermosa Lodge.
Which I always think of Arrested Development, Hermano.
Yeah. I'm just taking a Spanish word and just stapling it over. Yeah. Hermosa means beautiful in Spanish. This Hermosa is played by Michelle Prada. Some recent things was in The Continental. There was the streaming show based off of John Wick.
Oh.
Was in a show called Vita. Was like one of the lead roles, Emma. It ran for 3 seasons on Stars. Was also okay. I was like, what is this movie? There's a 2025 movie called Stone Cold Fox. I think it's like a revenge thriller with Kiernan Shipka, Kristen Ritter, and Kiefer Sutherland. And I was like, what is this cast?
What is this movie?
It looks like a small, a small budget, like thriller sort of thing. Like the cast list, I think, is maybe like 9 people.
Okay.
And I'm assuming was released straight to like streaming or something. I found very scarce details on it, but I was like, holy shit. This is stacked.
Where do you watch it?
I think you can buy it on I think it was on like buy it on Prime. I think it was like that you could buy VOD. I don't think it was like direct streaming.
What was it called again?
Stone Cold Fox movie. Looks like it is on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. A woman breaks out of an abusive commune, but when the queen pin kidnaps her younger sister and sends a crooked cop after her, she has no choice but to infiltrate the very place she escaped from. Yeah, it came out in November.
We have to watch this.
Sure. I was like, what is this?
Exactly.
Yeah. 86 minutes. Nice. We love that.
I love a movie that is 90 minutes and under. I have said it before, and I will say it again. If your movie needs to be more than 2 hours, I know 90 minutes is an hour and a half, but I'm just saying, if your movie, I give leeway in the middle there. But if your movie is longer than 2 hours, you either have to be doing something like so amazing, you have to be making a movie version of a very long book, or like you got to be giving me something. I don't think Marvel movies should be allowed to be more than 90 minutes. There's nothing in the hero's journey that takes you more than 90 minutes to tell the story.
That's fair.
And that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. I completely agree. Movies have gotten too long. Sorry.
Movies have gotten too long. I
got a bit distracted there because I was like, wait, Rotten Tomatoes says just Fandango at Home. It is on Netflix. But yes. Yeah,
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes for anything.
When I wanted to keep up with like Marvel movies, I've broken of that. It was just like, these are too damn long.
Yeah, you used to make me go see them.
I know.
He'd make me go to the theater to watch Marvel movies. And there was when we lived in Santa Barbara, there was one theater that was an actual theater. Like we went to comedy shows there. It was a stage. There's a theater, but they also play movies there. And it did have a bar. So at least I could get like a beer or two.
Yes.
That was back when I drank more too. So I'm like, well, at least I can drink this and then I can get up to go pee. And had really pretty bathrooms. And then I can drink another one and then I can get up to go pee. And that'll kill about 30 minutes. So that'll at least make this slightly shorter.
Exactly.
And it's not like you missed anything when you went to the bathroom.
No, you missed some lasers and whatnot.
Pew, pew, pews.
Was the last one we saw probably the Avengers movie at Alamo, right? Is that the last one we saw in theaters?
When did we see the Avengers movie at Alamo?
I mean, when it came out, I think.
Which Avengers was that?
One of the last ones.
Endgame?
Yeah.
We saw that at Alamo?
Yeah. I think so.
Oh. I remember
we saw that with my friends.
We saw Black Panther in the city.
Yeah. That was with the recliners.
At the Metreon.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. Yeah, I guess that must have been.
I think so. Then we moved, and then it was the pandemic.
But with the pandemic, before the pandemic started, we saw 2 movies in theaters. We saw Frozen 2, and we saw Knives Out. Honestly, 2 bangers to end on.
Exactly, I know. Ended it on a high bar there.
That was a great... Frozen 2 is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I will die on that hill. And if you don't like Frozen 2, why? What's wrong? Who hurt you? And if you don't like Knives Out, I mean, maybe some people don't like mysteries, I guess. And it does have a little bit of vomit in it.
She doesn't feel as strongly about that one.
I really do think it's a really beautifully crafted movie. I think that's the best of the Knives Out movies.
Yeah. I'd probably say Knives Out is best.
Yeah,
I really liked Wake Up Dead Man.
I liked Wake Up Dead Man, but I just think that the first one is just it's just so the way it was filmed and the way the characters are portrayed, and I just love the way Captain America.
Oh, Chris Evans. Yeah.
Chris Evans.
He's so good in that.
Plays this like douchey rich boy down on his luck, but it's just so good. I'm like, oh, I've met this man. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like, you know that guy.
If he's not, because I get it, the content promoted to me on Instagram of like, where it's like carousels of the, people are like, oh, they're like slutty sweaters. You know what I mean? Where it's like people in the cable net. If he's not in those, he should be.
He should be. He looks great in his slutty sweater.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Wake Up Dead Man, what makes it good is specifically growing up Catholic.
Yes.
It's not like super digging into details on Catholicism,
it's not
but
very
like,
Catholic.
No, but the questions over faith, and then also the way people use faith for their own, to exert power over others and things like that. I really liked
the way men abuse faith and power to hold over others, and the way women are pitted against each other and are the victims of that.
Yep.
That's a crucial piece of that. The misogyny is a crucial piece of that, which I really was impressed by, like how it was done without being so on the nose, but while still being...
Those movies are hitting you over the head with the sledgehammer, but...
Yeah, and I think that you can smack people in the face with feminism and they still won't get it, so I'm not bothered by that. But I thought that was done pretty subtly, like in a nice... Like, it was very clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's not so subtle you didn't pick up either. You know what I mean?
No, but it's not like pausing, turning to the camera, and explaining it all to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It allows the viewer to, like, come to that conclusion.
Yeah. Exactly. By having, say...
I mean, it's laid out pretty clean. Like, it's...
Yeah.
It's not like one of those things where you're like, oh, I didn't think of that. Like, to me.
This represents this. No. It's directly on the screen of like what's happening to the characters. So
I just read a book like that, and this represents this, and anyway,
it didn't go down as well. It was okay.
Yeah, I don't. If any of you have read Audition by Katie Kitamura, I think that's how you say her last name. I apologize if that's wrong, or any of her other work. I believe this is just like her writing style, and then also like this is kind of like the type of like literary fiction she writes. But it was very interesting. I didn't not enjoy reading it, but I did not enjoy reading it.
Yeah.
Like I could easily write a term paper on it.
Mm-hmm.
I could take this and really turn it into something if I needed to sound smart. Like I could really take it, like it had a lot of meat that I could be like, well, and this means this and that means that, but it didn't like make me feel.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know like what that means about art. Whereas I feel like, not to like compare like a beautiful piece of literary fiction to Riverdale, but I'm going to. But it's something like this, like, or a show like this can sometimes make you feel, not necessarily in these episodes a lot, but there, and so like what constitutes as art is always like playing in my head as someone who like writes and creates art and loves to consume art, and there's room for all types of art. I think all types of art are very important, but I do think it's fun to sometimes be like, okay, but like better is a horrible word. I'm not going to say like what's better, but like what's more like fun to consume or what's more impactful to the public. And I think it's just fun to like mentally play with that.
Yeah. I think also for what you read, it's like you maybe just didn't like the story or whatever they were digging into, the way they went about it. I'm not going to put words in your mouth there, but like I think like because of the way you described it, I'm going to relate it to like David Lynch. I don't think every single David Lynch movie is like on the same level, but he like uses certain ways of like how he goes about his messages. So I think it's all just also then about like, well, which works even in doing this style work better than others.
Totally. And I think that it seems like some people really liked her other books more, and like there's reviews in all directions because obviously like everyone has a different taste for art, but it's like not every piece of art is for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that doesn't mean we don't observe it, because like we should still consume things that we don't necessarily like, are obsessed with, or enjoy. Not like a lot of it, but you should still introduce yourself to things that make you uncomfortable.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. And in the case of this, this book is like, ooh, maybe I'll try this. Like, it's even if it's out of my usual, blah, blah, blah.
And it was 200 pages. It was not a hard
There you go. In and out.
Anyway.
Right. On to the next character.
We haven't podcasted in a while. We have a lot of thoughts.
Exactly.
we only talk to each other.
That's right. Now we just do it with microphones.
It was like the world's worst voice memo.
It's a long one. And it has a visual component.
I always joke when I send voice memos to people in my life that I'm like, if it's more than like 3 minutes, I'm like, sorry, here's a podcast. But I'm like, sorry, here's a podcast. That should be. If I had just like a podcast where I just talked, I'd be like, sorry, here's a podcast, and that would be the name.
That's a good idea.
Such a good idea. If one of you takes that and does it, just like credit me. I don't care. Like you can have the idea. Someone might already have done it.
Unless you want to start up your solo podcast where you're just talking.
Me?
Yeah.
What am I going to talk about by myself and not get myself in trouble? I think a lot about that Tina Fey, Bowen Yang, Las Culturistas clip that's been going around again for obvious reasons. Where Tina Fey basically says like, no, like authenticity is like, there's too much of a cost to it. Like you can't be yourself in public like that. Like that's too expensive. Like you will get yourself in trouble basically. And I'm like,
yeah. What is it? It's the, what are you gonna like talk, she paraphrasing. Yeah. You're gonna talk shit on Saltburn, and then what are you gonna do when Emerald Fennel calls you up for next movie?
Exactly.
It's very funny.
That's why I keep a journal.
Exactly. Or you just live your life like Orson Welles, and you say what you want and deal with the consequences.
That's true. And obviously we do. I mean, we have this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Malcolm Stewart is playing Francis Dupont. Small roles in the movie Miracle. Do you remember the movie Miracle? Sports film by Disney about the U.S. hockey team beating the Russian hockey team in the Olympics.
I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, they went to college kids instead of superstars, and I can't remember the rest of the movie.
Why? Is it a true story?
Yes, it's based on a true story.
Why?
I don't know. I don't remember it.
But you've seen it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Jumanji and in the movie Moon.
I don't know Moon.
It's by David Bowie's son, Duncan Jones.
Okay.
And it's Sam Rockwell playing a guy who he's like a worker on the moon, but he's like by himself, like up there. It's like in the near future, like, he's there harvesting minerals, but he runs the space station by himself, and then things start happening. I won't ruin it for people because it's It's fairly early that you start picking up on stuff and they start telling you things, but
you can ruin it for me later.
yeah, it's good to go into it blind. 4 different roles on the X-Files, which if we haven't talked about before, maybe that's something we flag for this show.
To watch?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the X-Files.
I haven't either.
If you've seen the X-Files, tell us.
Yeah,
Let us know.
It seems like it'd be a good one. We do our, Monster of the Week episode sort of thing, and there's a wider mystery going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, he was in 3 episodes of that series of unfortunate events TV show for Netflix.
The TV show one?
Yep, as Mr. Remora. And it's also on the Christmas TV, like streaming, direct-to-TV movie thing. He's done like 8 of them.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Getting good work.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Dodger is played by Juan.
Juan
Riedingner. I'm not quite
Redinger?
sure. Yeah, maybe Redinger.
Redinger?
Yeah. Was in Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Jennifer's Body. Also 4 episodes of Narcos. And then also was in 4 episodes of a show that I brought up a few episodes ago, Motherland, Fort Salem, which is like when the witches are like pulled into the U.S. Army. I don't know. I need to look more into that. Might be onto something.
Okay. But is it like one of those shows that's made like with the military? You know what I mean? Or
Oh,
is it like no.
Marvel?
Yeah, like Marvel.
I have no idea. I don't think so, but
It's
things
so
we need to
funny
look
if it
into.
was.
I know, yeah. But actually, in real life, they're pulling in Etsy witches. Look it up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
We're pulling you in. You have to cast spells on Putin.
Well, we watched Anastasia over the winter break, so
Yes, we
you'd
did.
have to watch out for Rasputin.
That's right. The fun movie.
It's a very fun movie. Obviously, historically, completely fantastical.
Oh, yeah.
No reality. Even I don't even think she's got the right number of siblings.
So good. All right. Well, that's our cast for this week. And now we can get into the episode, starting with Chapter 62, Witness for the Prosecution, which comes from a short story by Agatha Christie.
I was like, I don't really get this title.
About courts, you know?
Yeah, I know, but I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so loose that I'm like, okay, there's no witness.
Sure. Right, exactly. Archie, yeah, the court case really isn't much in this episode. It's pretty in and out. That's the downside of having like 4 plot lines all having to go on the same time. We've talked about this before. Archie goes out vigilanteing at night, saves a woman who's being mugged, but she thinks he's a threat, and she pepper sprays him.
Vibes.
Betty, I mean, if a random guy in a mask was out there, you would too. Betty asks Kevin to join the junior FBI class, and Kevin asks if Charles is gay or straight. Betty says maybe you'll meet a hot other boy there. Mary is the lawyer for Hermione, and they go through the stacked evidence against her before her trial. Veronica is involved and is also keeping tabs on the case against her father. Jughead found newspaper articles on the Stonewall 4. Donna's like, well, Marmaduke isn't... because like Jughead's like all like obsessed with this, and Donna's like, well, Marmaduke isn't one of them. He's at basic training, and shows Jughead his social profile. Class is in session, and Mr. Chipping shows them his latest novel, which is a Baxter Boy novel.
Baxter Brothers?
Baxter Brothers. Baxter Brothers novel, Baxter Boy.
It was like Baxter Boys.
The singular Baxter Boy. Yeah, that's later on. One of them dies.
Oh, spoilers.
That's right. Baxter Boys, similar to the Hardy Boys. He's the latest in a series of ghostwriters that work on the series, and Jughead is a huge fan of them. Mr. Chipping invites them all to a party celebrating the book where the other ghostwriters will be in attendance. Pop gets a subpoena for Hiram's case. Veronica goes to her dad and tells him not to drag him into it, and Hiram says, come clean and you can save Pop Tate. Veronica declines. Veronica visits the federal prosecutor and because she's working with them, and asked to be called as a witness since she doctored the books since Hiram would, and she can say that she doctored the books because Hiram was extorting her, and the prosecutor agrees. Junior FBI training class. But apparently they just kick off directly with serial killers. Hey!
Well, yeah, I mean, start with something fun.
I guess so. But it's Charles is just like puts 3 men up on the screen and is like, hey, which one's the true murderer? And then Betty's like, uses her Dexter innate ability apparently and guesses the killer 3 times in a row. Charles is like, well, the serial killers all have one thing in common: the serial killer gene. This stuff. But Kevin has a beautiful line in here that says, you're like a beautiful mind, but for serial killers.
I love that we have Kevin back.
Yeah.
I love when we get a good Kevin moment.
You're inching away out of the frame, so.
It's personal.
Yep.
You smell.
I see.
No, I'm kidding. You showered. I didn't.
You don't smell. But yeah, no, I love a good Kevin line.
I do love Kevin.
Jughead finds his Baxter Brothers books at home, and Betty mentions they crossed over with Tracy True. Hey, guess what?
But we have mentioned Nancy Drew by name before, so it's funny that like we have to have like true. But I'm assuming it's because they didn't want to say Nancy Drew crossed over with somebody when she didn't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So they have to make up their other one, even though they probably referenced Nancy Drew in the back.
Because remember, that's used the code book.
Oh.
The Black Hood used.
Tracy True is legally distinct from Nancy Drew. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's her bitchy cousin. Tracy True.
She's so much better.
Nancy Drew was like, I have my thing, and Tracy True was like, I have alliteration.
FP looks weirded out by Jughead's interest. Jughead reads them late at night, back at the dorms, and finds a page ripped out from one of his books. A guy leads a kid up to the El Royale, and apparently the kid was shoplifting from his store and tells Archie to keep any of his kids away from the gym. Any of the kids from the gym away from his shop. Mr. Chipping introduces Francis J. Dupont to the class who originated the Baxter Brothers books. Francis says it's time for Chipping to pass on the torch, and every author for the book series has gone to Stonewall. He tasked them to write the first 3 chapters of the next book, along with an outline. Betty confirms at the doctor's that she has the serial killer gene, but lies to Kevin that she doesn't. Archie closes up for the night and finds people stealing from cars. He changes into vigilante mode and chases them off. He goes to put back on the hubcap in the car when someone comes behind him with a gun. Turns out it was Toby, the kid who robbed the convenience store earlier, and Archie sends him running back to Dodger with a warning.
We have to post pictures of Archie with the Taylor Swift song Vigilante shit on Instagram.
Taking that note right now. The next day, Archie tells the kids that if you're with Dodger, you're not welcome at the gym. Toby asks what happens to them if they go to college. Speaking of Archie and Monroe. And then Archie's like, well, that's just months away. So you can either pick to stay here or with Dodger. And Toby and another kid are like, well, screw this. Also like, oh, that's months away? Months.
That's not helpful.
Months away.
Don't worry about the future, kids.
Yeah. That's if you're asking about the future for future plans to ensure that you'll have some place to go, someone being like vague about it isn't going to help you.
No, not the vibe.
No. FBI training. Betty learns the serial killers harm animals in their youth, and she's like, wait, I remember during that torture where Polly pretended to be me that she said I killed their cat. Hermione's trial. FP is on the witness stand, and the prosecution presents papers that Hermione owns the cabin where Tallboy was killed, and there's a mysterious woman in the audience watching.
What I find weird about this is it's like, even if her husband owned it, it would be just as, like, why would that be any different?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, we're married. Like, we buy property with both our names on it all the time. Not all the time.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're playing Monopoly. We've bought one singular property. It has 2 bedrooms.
We have so much property. We have the place in Vale, Tuscany.
Never even been to Vale. Have you been to Vale?
Yeah.
You've been to Vale.
Yeah. I don't remember it, though. I was just a weein'. I think that was I think it was there that I threw the fit when my parents left me in ski school. And then they took me out of ski school, and I was like, yay.
You didn't want to go to ski school?
No. I don't know those people.
It's not. I would have been like afraid because I'm like, oh God, what if I get hurt and they lose me? And you're like, no, I don't want to hang out with these strangers. We are so not the same kid.
No.
I was like, I'm going to die on this mountain and no one's going to find me.
And I'm like,
I don't trust the teenager that runs this class.
I'm like, I'm like, I didn't know those people. take me back with my parents. Jughead finds a yearbook where his grandfather Forsyth was with Francis DuPont, and he's like, "Hey, like Francis, what were you guys like? What were you guys doing together?" And Francis is like, "Oh, Forsyth, Forsyth was so good. How was he doing?" And then Jughead's like, "Well, he died." And then Francis says Forsyth was a talented writer, and then Francis also wants to meet FP because he's like, "Oh, I'd love to meet the son of Forsyth."
Sus.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's real sus when you why? When you put it all together. You're like, why?
Why do you want to do that? Well, yeah, exactly. Veronica asks Hermione to come clean about her crimes so that she can then help her with her case. Mary's there later and is like, "Well, you're kind of up against the wall here." And Veronica's like, "Hermione, if you come clean to all your crimes and get governed, then if you wind up guilty, Governor Dooley can pardon you." Betty has a nightmare where her younger self kills her cat Caramel with a rock. Jughead asks his dad about his grandpa and invites FP to the reception to meet Francis. And FP's like, "I don't want to go there. I don't want to be anywhere near where my father is. I don't want to hear positive things about my dad who left us for a pack of cigarettes."
Where's Alice living?
She's just busy.
Where's she living?
She's living at the house.
At the house. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
She's booked and busy. She doesn't got time for this.
So are her and FP sharing a room? Are we not talking about this on the show?
It seemed like they were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that scene, they're getting all lovey-dovey.
But he'd just been back with his wife.
Last season. That's water on the bridge. She left.
That's true. Well, I don't know if they ever really got back together in that way, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, sorry. I just thought of that.
They might have just been playing house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
Veronica tricks Governor Dooley into meeting with her, and then she blackmails him into pardoning Hermione. Stonewall prep reception. Everyone.
You would think Governor Dooley would just stay out of Riverdale.
I know. He's like, son of a bitch. Tricked again. Everyone in attendance plays a game of murderer, where they all get a card that says if they're the murderer or not, and then the murderer has to go around stealthily, killing everybody else. Everybody else has to identify the murderer before they get killed. Jughead is the one that gets the card, and it comes down to the wire, and he kills Brett, but then Brett acts like a toddler, and he's like, no, I called him out before he did that. He didn't kill me. And then Francis is like, it was obviously Jughead who won. But
the whole game consists of you wink at somebody, and as someone who cannot subtly wink, that's what I was doing while you were talking. If they're watching the video, they can watch myself try to wink.
Looking like Lucille Booth. Later, Francis tells Jughead he's excited for him to enter the contest and to write the Baxter Brothers books. Betty looks through her diaries to see if she actually did kill Caramel. Hermione pleads guilty.
Your diary today,
killed a cat.
My cat.
100%.
How does Betty usually document her day that she thinks that's what she would write down and not repress immediately?
That's like a kid too. Betty tells Kevin she has the serial killer gene and tells Kevin about one day Caramel got hit by a car and she found her in the yard hurt, and then her dad had her get a rock and kill the cat. And Kevin's like, "Well, you didn't kill your cat. Your dad made you do that. Your dad, the serial killer, hello?" And then tells her to maybe that she should pull out of the FBI training for now. FP comes to the El Royale and says the local store owners filed a complaint against the gym. FP comes to the El Royale, and then, it was FP, sorry.
Yeah.
For some reason, my brain then was filling it in with Hiram. I'm like, that's not the scene.
No,
Never mind.
Yeah.
And says the local store owners filed complaints against the gym. He offers advice that Archie's like, what you need to do is you need to bring them together with a clam bake. Oh, okay. Thanks, man.
Because that's what the serpents used to do with the local community.
That's right.
Have a clam bake. Imagine FP's organizing a clam bake. The FP of season 1 is organizing a clam bake.
You're really going to trust that clam?
You mean Toni was organizing a clam bake?
That's actually 100%
uncredited.
True. Yeah. Betty holds a grudge on Brett holds a grudge against Jughead and is like, "Oh, you're just a diversity hire, essentially. In a charity case."
Admission.
Exactly. And that your grandfather was the same. And then Jughead shoves him to the desk and Brett's like, "You inherited his temper too." It's like, how would you know? Jughead pulls him off and leaves the class. Archie speaks to the news about extending their hours and invites the business owners to offer their time that they're starting a big brother/big sister program. He says, my mom's a very good lawyer and my best friend's dad is the sheriff, so back off. Yeah, that's really going to win people over.
It's so fucking funny.
Archie is like, instead of actually like starting a dialogue with these people, I'm just gonna like force them to like give time here.
You mean Archie is once again throwing himself in a dick measuring contest?
Yes, he is. We have so much to talk about what Archie's doing over these episodes. Later, a business owner is like, hey, I see what you're doing here. It's great, but we've been getting pressure from Dodger to come out against the gym. We have to all pay him a tithe.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Tell the sheriff.
Exactly.
That should be evidence enough, right?
Yeah, that he's running a protection racket.
Yeah.
There's a really good episode of Police Squad on this. FP comes home and finds, which is if you don't know, it's the spoofs TV series that eventually led into the Naked Gun movie because it got canceled after like 6 episodes. FP comes home and finds Jughead there. He says he's done with Stonewall, and FP's like, you're not throwing this away, and just because the rich kids threatened you, they're just feeling threatened. FP says that Jughead's grandpa was actually the ones who sent the Baxter brother books to him.
That would have been a good warm-up for the episode. Baxter brother books.
He doesn't know where Forsyth disappeared to and encourages Jughead to go back and show up those prep school kids. Betty tells Charles she's dropping out because she's like the other serial killers. And he's like, well, you should stay in the program to control your impulses because I have the serial killer gene too, and the FBI has helped me harness them. They're just writing Dexter fanfic here. At Le Bon Oui, the mysterious woman sits at the bar listening to Veronica get off the phone with Governor Dooley and then tells Veronica that she's a licensed PI hired by Hiram and that she found Veronica worked with the federal prosecutor and was recordings of them. The prosecutor is dropping the case against Hiram. Veronica offers to pay her more than Hiram, and then she introduces herself as Hermosa, Hiram's other daughter. And Jughead finds that he can see writing indents on the pages left in the Baxter Brothers book from where the page was torn out. He highlights it in black chalk, and it's a note from his grandpa wishing Jughead happy birthday.
Pencil. Just to like trace over. I think it's just pencil or like maybe it's like a charcoal pencil. I don't know.
Right.
I was like
what are you talking about?
Did I miss that? Maybe. I mean, I guess I could have missed that, but
it's a note from his grandpa wishing Jughead happy birthday and to only trust a few people and don't let people take away anything from him. Interesting. Hiram speaks to the news after being released and introduces his daughter and announces his candidacy for Riverdale mayor. Betty talks to Kevin and she wants to investigate Charles to see if he's a serial killer, and that we see that she's been tailing him, and she says he's been keeping secrets from her on why he's even still in Riverdale. Dodger leaves his hideout and Archie is in vigilante mode, appears behind him and tells him to get out of town. And he threatens Dodger, and Dodger goes for his gun, but Archie disappears. And Dodger's like, you're a dead man. Francis asks who's in for the competition, and Jughead says he's in, and to call him Forsyth the third after his grandfather. Francis tasks the class to come up with the perfect murder for the book. And then spring semester, flash forward, FP comes into class to arrest Betty, Archie, and Veronica for the murder of Jughead. The end.
Okay, question number 1. Hermosa bugged Le Bon Oui.
Yes.
In California, that would not be legal evidence.
That's right.
I'm not a lawyer. I presume, from what I understand, because California is a 2-party consent state when it comes to recording.
Mm-hmm.
That's why sometimes on the phone, they're like, this call may be recorded. Or, whatever. This line is monitored. That way you're being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't tell people they're being recorded, you can't use it. And it's technically not legal to record it. So, what state are they in?
I always assumed like Washington, right? But it could also be like
DC?
No, Washington, the state.
Oh, I always thought this was East Coast.
Or East Coast, because they also say Toronto.
Yeah.
Because they had my boy's coming down from Toronto.
I just thought it was East Coast because of the Toronto, but the trees do look very Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's just because
it's Vancouver.
Vancouver. That's why. But in universe, they are somewhere on the East Coast.
Okay. I'm just playing with that. I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 major plot lines in this episode.
Yeah.
Each character has their own plot line. Veronica's got her parents' trials. Jughead has the Baxter Brothers book. Betty is in the junior FBI with her brother and Kevin and has the serial killer gene and killed her cat. And Archie is on his vigilante shit again. So what I personally took as a theme from this episode is the like concept of destiny. Like, can you change what you are and like what your family has conditioned you to be? Can Veronica be any better than her parents? Is she any better than her parents? Creating evidence, lying, like manipulating the books, etc. Like being in those situations. Is she any better than her parents? Is Betty any better than her serial killer dad because she killed her cat? Whatever. It's weak, but it's there.
Yes, it is. It's exactly what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Jughead, is he his grandfather? Is he this really intelligent, underprivileged, creative artist who's going to be taken advantage of by these wealthy people? And is he, they also with how Brett plays with it, like, oh, you're violent just like him. Like you're the diversity admission just like him, you know, etc. The white boy diversity admission. It's just I think they do a really good job playing with that. And then like it's Archie's like his theme and destiny, like can he run from who he is or what he is? Like he's once again being a vigilante. He's once again doing weird creepy shit at night and doing things that like on paper are not good for the benefit of the town.
Yeah.
Making him more morally gray.
Yeah, and also playing not just with the can you escape your destiny, but can he change the destiny of the town?
Can he save the town? Can he save the kids? Can he defeat Dodger?
Yes.
I thought that was really fun, like as a theme.
Yeah, totally.
The other thing I thought of was like what? You need me to stop?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you raised your hand to pause me.
Did I raise my hand?
I don't know what you were doing. I kind of saw it out of the corner. You were probably just fixing your sleeve or something. I just saw it.
I did raise my hand. My hands are a little dry, so I was like checking if it was. Like, I was distracted and I checked it was cracked. But it was like one of those things I didn't consciously realize, so I had to like back up my
you're
brain.
okay. It's just because I was looking at my notebook, so I saw your hand. So then I was like, oh, he's got something.
Just coming to hold you. You can do this.
Cover my notes so I can't read them.
Can you remember what you wrote?
No, I wrote this a week ago. So the other theme I got is like the finding your way and the motivation and kind of like what's going to cause you to either change your destiny or chase your destiny or like what that is. So for all of these characters, it's spite. Spite is the most powerful motivator.
That is 100%.
Everyone is spiteful as fuck.
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
Betty is like, I need to figure out if Charles is a serial killer because that's a great distraction from me dealing with my own shit.
Yes. And
it's a way for me to like use this anger I still have about what happened with my father and the situation I was put in. I can channel it into this, similar to how Charles has channeled it into the FBI allegedly.
Yeah, I liked Dexter when it was on. I'm gonna say
I didn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
The man had tarps.
Yeah, had what?
Didn't he have like? Wasn't he the one with the tarps and the?
Yeah, because that's how he would like surgically kill people.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's so dumb. I hate I hate the broad concept of like, again, that destiny of like, ooh, you're inherently a killer, so we have to like harness it and channel it. I think that's like so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous
because people, I'm not big on like true crime or anything, but like if you listen to any of those things, people are formed because of actions that happen to them.
Yes.
So like, why are people driven to violence? It's often because of societal things that happen at home, while also dealing with conditions that could also have been like undiagnosed and things like that.
Exactly.
It's people are shaped again to the entire destiny thing. People are, and like the show also knows that, but like I think that just the premise is so dumb.
It's so dumb, and we always do the dumbest shit with Betty.
Yeah, or the show actually is really bought in on that the serial killer gene is potentially something that could happen, but like, I don't know. It's a dead end for Betty, I think.
Totally. Then you have Archie. His why is saving the town. It's because his father died. He's not handling his grief or his situation. Basically, the title of this episode should be Daddy Issues. Why children make bad decisions.
Yeah, 100%. Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. So Archie's is like, oh, my dad died and I have to save the town because he wanted to save the town because my dad was, such a good person.
Yeah. Well, I'll have probably more to say on Archie's thing. But I think it's very funny to come back to the vigilante thing with a whole lot less critical eye 2 seasons later.
Yeah, because last time it was like, oh, he's like running a gang of boys.
And like him giving into violence, like that's something we should be monitoring. That's something that's scary because he's like out of control. But now it's like I'm doing it to like fight back. He's like Batman now, uncritically. Even though, if you're also looking at Batman, like, many Batman stories are about how this is not healthy.
Well, and so is the show trying to say that now that he's gone through his horrible things and his fight with the bear, that this is a better version of him to be doing this? Or is Archie just continually not learning the same lesson over and over again?
Yeah. And I don't remember. This could come back around as like Archie really needs to stop doing this, but there's none of that present at the moment.
Correct. Then we have Jughead and like the writing and the family history and the spite of like sticking it to the rich kids and the guy. And it's more in the next episode, but like the idea that his grandfather's writing was stolen and his father is the one who hid all this from him because of his daddy issues. So that's a generational daddy issue situation. And then we've got
I think it's fun with FP in the middle there too of like I want you to do. He sees the academy as like a way for Jughead to escape their roots, but then also feels so much self-loathing about it because he has all those, again, with his father, his issues that he's like, well, I can't be around there. I'm going to be hearing nice things about my father, even though it's that like simultaneous thing of like, the only vision I have for you to be able to get out of here is to go to the place where my father also went and failed to like accomplish anything.
Mm-hmm. But you're going to accomplish something.
Yeah.
And then you have Veronica, and she's obviously motivated by spite against her father.
Veronica is the most motivated by spite.
And I love that for her.
Absolutely. And yeah, because you've mentioned it before. This is a good time for Veronica hating her dad.
Veronica Hiram wars are like the best part of the show, like as a subplot. I think it's like one of my favorite like secondary plots because it's just fun.
Yeah. And we get the introduction of a half sister. Which is great. Actually, the other thing I was thinking of with these episodes, they feel the most like soap opera. Right, where you're pulling in like a half sister you didn't know, dealing with the implications of
repressed childhood trauma memories, like a repressed memory plot line. Oh, that's so soap opera.
Of being a fish out of water at your within like this high class society and things. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's probably precedent for like Archie stuff too. I think that's straight comic books, which is just soap opera but in a different medium. So that's why I was like, oh, and especially in the next episode, actually, it's like we're really playing to the actor's strengths here in a really good way and in some tense scenes.
Totally. And I think these are also like the most grounded episodes we've had in a very long time.
Yes, which is saying something.
Like, yeah, that this is what's grounded. But I'm like, oh, this feels like almost like on the verge of could be happening.
Right. Yeah.
And when you look at the world around us right now, you're like, honestly, this could be happening. You know what?
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, exactly. The thing that just drags the show down is that we have to like deal with 4 separate plot lines instead of having it like more woven together.
I kind of wish we'd really focused on Stonewall Prep and maybe like had like a Betty and Jughead plot line and a Veronica and Archie plot line, just so that then, or a Veronica and Betty plot line and an Archie and Jughead plot, but something where there's just to condense it so that we could focus more on these things.
Yeah. And it's fun again to see the characters bounce off each other, and we don't get that.
No, they rarely interact.
Yeah. So all right, on to the next one.
On to the next one.
All right, chapter 63, Hereditary. The title of the episode is a reference to the 2018 horror film Hereditary, written and directed by Ari Aster.
I feel like you said hereditary. Really funny.
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Hereditary?
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Hereditary?
Hereditary.
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 Am I? Now I don't even know if I'm saying the word right.
Spoilers, I guess, for Hereditary. Do you know anything about Hereditary?
I think so.
I think the little girl dies potentially from like a peanut allergy. No, she gets her head chopped. Does she get her head chopped off? She has a peanut allergy.
See, these are the things I avoid.
Yeah, gotta check.
As someone with a peanut allergy, I don't want to know.
Yep.
La 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 la.
Uh-huh.
I would hope they wouldn't kill a child of an allergy in a movie because I feel like that would be bad vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Charlie eats a piece of cake containing walnuts, triggering her severe nut allergy and sending her into anaphylactic shock. As Peter drives Charlie to a hospital, she leans out the window to gasp for air, and Peter swerves to avoid a deer in the road, causing Charlie to be decapitated by a telephone pole.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Other trivia facts. Dr. Saperstein, who supposedly performed the tracheotomy on Dagwood, is named after the evil doctor in Rosemary's Baby.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Well. And was previously mentioned in Sabrina.
I was going to say, this name sounds familiar.
Yeah, the first episode of Sabrina. All right. So, summary for the episode. Kids break into cars when Archie appears and scares one off and cuffs the other to the steering wheel. And later
But he's in his vigilante outfit, so you don't know it's Archie.
Uh-huh. Later, he comes back not in costume and helps him after FP arrests him. And because we get like a Jughead voiceover that essentially it's like they use this. Archie's there for the kids to then help rehabilitate him. And then he gets him a job at Pop's. And we see the Dodgers watching him outside the diner. Oh, I have lots more to say about this. Jughead calls Betty to meet up for late night burgers, and he's like, I've got writer's block for the Baxter Brothers novel, and she asks for a kiss, but he keeps on being worried, and then he's like, oh, wait, eventually I got to give you a kiss. To which I also wrote, I'm like, he's only really written things based on crimes that have happened in Riverdale. We haven't seen him write anything truly fiction. I could be wrong.
Yeah, because even when they were playing Griffins and Gargoyles, and he was, I'm assuming, writing those stories out, like they aligned with the story.
The town.
God, that was like the one where they break Archie out is actually like a good episode.
Yeah.
Like
and then they're all playing. Yeah, I forgot about that. Cheryl has a nightmare that the family wants to use her body for Julian's. She wakes up and sees the doll staring at her from the side bench in the room. Archie finds the El Royale wrecked and thinks it's Dodger. Effie's like, well, I guess we could come by and add Sketch Alley to our patrol routes.
We could. I can add Sketch Alley to our nightly patrol.
What do you think's happening in Sketch Alley?
Okay, FP.
So when I say things that are pulled from comic books, and specifically calling out Archie and Batman, Batman's parents were killed in Crime Alley. This has to be intentional. Anyways. It's ridiculous in both things. Betty covers with Kevin about her facts about following Charles. It mostly sounds like Charles is just lonely and just doing his work. And Betty's like,
boring man.
Yep. It's like, it's like he goes to work, then he works out, and he goes home.
He's at the gym for like an hour and a half every day.
Yeah. Well, he's an FBI. He's got to channel that serial killer rage into some chest presses.
Just chest press every day?
Maybe not that.
That was like every day.
Just an example. But Betty has an epiphany. At the Pembroke, the lodges are all gathered together. Hiram introduces Hermosa, Veronica's one and only half-sibling. Hiram wants to establish...
Allegedly.
Exactly. We're really going to take this man at his word. Hiram wants to establish a rum business, and Hermosa will help, and he wants her to work at Le Bon Oui. And Veronica's like, no. And Hermione's going to start there. And it's like, and the two of you can both leave. FP says the police raided the Wipeout...
Also, she's a PI. Why the fuck would she want to work at Le Bon Oui?
I know.
Under a high schooler.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, great. Thank you. Now I can wait tables for you for minimum wage. You know what? It's probably more a steady paycheck than PI business. FP says the police raided the Wipeout arcade and didn't find any contraband on Dodger, but they did find contraband on a bunch of the kids. Jughead reviewed the entire Baxter Brothers series and thinks there's a mystery in the book that his grandpa left for him. Book 1 and Book 2 seem to have entirely different writing styles, and Jughead thinks they're from 2 different writers, even though Francis supposedly wrote the first 5. He thinks his grandpa wrote the first book, and the book he sent Jughead was a first edition as well, and Betty's like, this is all circumstantial, though.
All of a sudden, Betty wants real evidence? I was like, oh, okay.
Well, speaking of investigating, Betty goes to visit Chic to ask about Charles.
Betty loves to go to the jail.
She does. If there's one place she loves to be.
It's the jail.
I can't believe that she's like, well, obviously Chic knew the Charles that came into my life. And then she's right.
Well, because he said he did.
Yeah, but like, how would... He says that he knew Charles, right? But like, how would we supposed to know? We're
believing him.
Exactly. I would have believed Chic. But then so Chic's like, yeah,
well,
like
you don't have Betty's FBI instincts.
That's right. I don't. Or serial killer instincts. Chic's like, yeah, me and Charles were together, and one time we got too high on Jingle Jangle, and Charles snapped and killed the guy we were with. Cheryl wants to stay home from school. Apparently she's missed a bunch because she's worried about Julian. Toni drags her to school. Cheryl agrees to go after they leave the Julian doll in a salt circle. Betty interrogates Charles about Chic's story, and she wants to hook him up to a polygraph. Archie asks Toby and Eddie why they work with Dodger, and they said, well, they get money and pizza from him. And Archie then decides that Archie then decides to get arcade games to give the kids an ultimate place to come to.
The fact that they're like, he gives us free pizza. Like, they're every corporate company's dream employee.
That's right. I do like it, at least, that it's these are kids, and it's like he's taking advantage for like very like kid reasons of like free arcade games and pizza.
Yep.
I mean, they're also at risk, so like a steady place to get food.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. It's just the fact that it's just pizza.
Right. Hey, instead of a raise, how about you have a pizza party?
Everybody want to chip in $5 and then we can all get pizza.
That's right. And you get a slice. Cheryl gets summoned to the principal's office. Apparently one of the twins swallowed a ping pong ball, but they were able to get them to the hospital. Veronica mocks Hermione through working at Le Bon Oui, and Hermione seems very overwhelmed. Cheryl goes home and finds the Julian doll on Jason's lap, and she's like, thinks that the Julian doll went after the twins. She goes upstairs and finds her aunt and uncle and cousin in her home and faints. Hiram and Hermosa come to Le Bon Oui to see Hermione's first day. That's not all rosy for them to come by. Betty administers the polygraph test. Charles did beat Chic on the street, and Charles came home one day and found a dead guy in their bed, and he covered up the crime for Chic and then left Chic and started over. Betty asks if he's hiding anything, and the polygraph goes off, and Charles is like, well, I'm a recovering addict, and I attend Narcotics Anonymous weekly. And he's like, I hope you're satisfied. Hiram visits Archie, and he's like, sorry for your father's passing, and wants to make a donation to El Royale, and Archie refuses the blank check from him. Cheryl is woken up in bed by Toni, and Cheryl's like, oh, it was a terrible dream, like that my aunt and uncle were here. And then Tony's like, no, they're here. The family's actually in town to sell the maple syrup business because it hasn't been profitable in years, and Tony's like, hey, Cheryl, we could sell the house and start over somewhere new and not be in this creepy place with your dead brother's body.
And the dead doll, the possessed doll.
And Cheryl's like, okay, I'll consider it. And then her aunt's like, oh, can we go down to the chapel? We always like to pray to the ancestors when we're here. And Cheryl's like, absolutely not. That's an affront against me. You get out of this house, and I'm not selling the maple syrup.
Which is also, so this is the second home, right? Because they had...
Yes.
They had...
This is Thistle House.
Thistle House. So it's just on the property, but not the same...
I think so, yeah, because Thornhill
was their private residence.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. I'm like, so is Thistle House, like... It always had the chapel?
Apparently. I guess, actually, it is in the house, because Reggie's like, I needed to...
Yeah, it's in the house. No, it's in the house. But it wasn't... So they lived not in the... I guess it would make sense to not want to live in the one with the chapel. I mean,
I wouldn't want to either.
A dead body. I mean, it's just a room when there's no dead body in it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather live in the house that has more functional space for my day-to-day.
Yes, because they needed all of those rooms.
Yes, they did.
And that's how I know our childhoods were different.
That's right. Hermione finds Hiram at the Pembroke in the middle of the night, and he's like, I want to come home. He takes off his shirt and says if she lets him back in, she won't have to work anymore. They have some psychosexual discussion of him needing her and her self-loathing and try to come after each other, and how much they hate each other, but they love each other sort of thing. And then...
Yeah, that like ordering hits on each other is their form of foreplay.
And then Hermione's like, oh, okay.
I
And they hook
already
up.
regret this.
Exactly, yes. This is what I'm talking about when it's soap opera. Like this, they're knocking it out of the park.
Well, and because they are performing. It is a soap.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, that psychosexual thing of like, ooh, like we hate each other, but we love each other. Yeah.
And it's all like
Getting all steamy.
he
and
takes
she's
off his shirt.
And then she's in her nightgown and he's, touching her thigh and things. Yeah. That's right. Yes.
Turned into Bruno.
She also, when she's watching Riverdale, just whips off her shirt. She loses so many buttons.
Revealing my like mesh under
Yes,
exactly.
tank. Yeah. Equally silk shirt underneath.
Yeah.
Jughead and Betty discuss the Baxter Brother mystery, and Betty thinks that maybe the old Riverdale High literary magazine holds some clues since Forsyth went there before or after Stonewall. Toby and Eddie say that the kids are glad that the El Royale is arcade games, but Archer still has pizza, and Veronica's like, well, okay, I'll get you pizza. And the youths run off to go tell the other kids. Cheryl drowns the Julian doll in a tub with a brick. Veronica comes home and finds Hiram back in the Pembroke, and she makes her mom come clean on inviting Hiram back. Hiram's like, well, there's no need for you to be jealous of Hermosa, and Veronica storms off.
It's like, that. What the fuck?
Yeah. Jughead finds a story that he thinks is his grandfather's, and it has characters from the Baxter Brothers novels, but it was written years before the first book. Betty comes home and finds FP Charles and her mom in the living room. Alice is like, how could you go after Chic? And it actually goes, how could you? And Betty rolls her eyes and says, how could I what?
It's the best scene in the whole show
Yeah.
because it's just like...
Betty, when she's done, now that Betty in this era...
being so fucking done.
Yes.
So good.
Those are the parts that are good outside of the stupid serial killer thing.
She's got the worst plot, but she's a great actress. You know what I
she's so
mean?
good.
Like, she's like, how could I what, Mom?
Yes. It's second to, no, it's your sister.
You bitch, right?
Yeah.
Your sister bitch.
No, bitch. Sister. And apparently Chic called the FBI about the murder that took place in the Cooper house, and Charles said he'll take lead in the investigation and will work with FP to investigate, and they go off to cover it up. The El Royale is busy with the local youths. Reggie comes up and is like, hey, Archie, Dodger's outside and wants to see you. Outside, Archie confronts Dodger to fight him, and Dodger says, don't you need to put on your mask first? And then Archie stumbles over his words, which is proof enough for Dodger. Charles and FP return, and they
Dodger
say
would never know if I was telling the truth. Sometimes I can't remember my fucking name.
well, you just think that you were lying all the time. Charles and FP return, and they say they took care of the evidence, and Betty apologizes to Charles. Jughead visits Francis to interrogate him about the first Baxter Brother book, and Francis is like, how dare you? Do you know who I am? I built Stonewall Prep, and it's like, you better back off before I get you expelled. Hermosa visits Veronica at Pop's and tells her about her mom. Her mother was a singer at one of Hiram's Miami clubs, and he took care of her until she died and took care of Hermosa. She invites Veronica to Hermione and Hiram's renewal of vows. And then Veronica, and she tells Veronica that there's still good in Hiram. No.
And Poppy.
Yes, Poppy. The extended Blossom family wants to declare Cheryl mentally unfit and wants to know what she's hiding in the chapel. Jughead visits Mr. Chipping to get his help on unveiling the truth about the Baxter Brothers author, and he agrees. Archie comes home and finds a black mask attached to the door with a knife, and he's like, huh. And then he runs inside, and he's like, Mom, we gotta go. And a car pulls up and shoots out the front windows and drives off. Veronica comes into her father's office and finds Hermosa there, now with a painting of herself on the wall behind her. Veronica says, I was going to attend the vow renewal, but now I'm not, and I'm not giving an inch to you or him. Archie meets with Hiram about stopping Dodger, and Hiram's like, well, there's nothing I can do to help. The next class, Mr. Chipping is acting weird before discussing Heart of Darkness. Mr. Chipping tells Jughead he's sorry for not helping and turns around and jumps out the window. Jughead tells his classmates to call an ambulance, and they all just stare at him. It's pretty creepy. Cheryl wakes up after hearing noises from the chapel. Cheryl and Toni find her Uncle Bedford there looking at the body of Jason. He grabs Cheryl and says he's going to take her to the authorities, and Toni hits him in the head with a tire iron. Charles visits Chic and says it all worked, babe, and they tell each other they love each other. The next day, Cheryl's aunt is looking for Bedford, and Toni and Cheryl are like, we haven't seen him, and she's like, I want to look around, and they're like, not without a warrant. Archie and Reggie see a bloody rug outside the gym, and they find Dodger inside beaten badly. And Archie calls an ambulance. Francis takes over Mr. Chipping's spot teaching the seminar. The end.
I want you to know one of my notes says Chic plus Charles, still in cahoots, heart. Like, I don't emotionally feel that way, but that's what I fucking wrote.
They're still in cahoots.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, Emily?
Look out for your fan cam on the Instagram soon.
You don't like either of these characters.
Together.
And I ran out of room, so I wrote it in the margin.
It's Charles and
Like,
Charles.
I felt the need to write that down.
It's so funny. Still in cahoots.
I think when I get to the end of the episodes, especially the second episode, my brain is so tired. It's just like, here's a thought.
That might be the episode title.
What? Chic plus Charles, still in cahoots. Heart. So the theme of this episode is family ties, in my mind.
Not the oh, never mind. The dumb joke I was gonna make. Move off it. I couldn't get to it.
I couldn't get it out. Dodger would think you're lying. So Betty and her familial ties, it's like this interest in her brother, and her brother, she's like, is he also a bad person? Which I understand her being distrustful. Her father was a serial killer.
Yeah, she's earned it.
And Charles has the serial killer genes, and she thinks she's evil because she has him, so he must be evil. And it turns out maybe he is.
Yeah.
Or he's just in love.
Still in cahoots.
And
I mean, who are we to like trample on a beautiful love like that?
And also, like, Charles just wants his new family to like him.
Yeah. So much that he's monitoring them.
Yeah. Mona would do it.
Exactly.
What would Mona do?
That's right.
That's
our North Star.
That's how I operate in life. Could you imagine?
Unhinged.
Unhinged. Very intelligent, though.
Yeah, we'd be spending a lot of money on clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But we would look good.
Jughead. The mystery of his grandpa, familial tie, this plagiarism case. Like, it's very clear what the plot is very clear with Jughead. It's like, what is he inheriting? It's this. He's inheriting this mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Betty's inheriting the serial killer genes, and Jughead's inheriting a family legacy mystery.
Totally.
You could see how maybe these don't feel like they're in the same show.
No, not at all. I think with both of these plot lines, they're very much, similar to like the last episode. It's like continuing on, but I don't think we're getting new insights or anything across these things. It's just kind of like moving them forward.
Cheryl is inheriting. Well, she already inherits. She has all of the property. She's inheriting bodies at this point. Well, she's hoarding bodies at this point.
Exactly.
I don't blame Toni for killing the uncle. He was annoying.
No, they're truly in like a horror movie.
They are living a completely different show. Yes. And I wish so badly they had given Cheryl a spinoff. Because I think it would have. I mean, I think also you lose that on Riverdale, but there's too much happening on Riverdale. And just getting like the Thornhill, the Blossom family as a show would have been so good.
Totally. And like you said, it doesn't match up to anything that's happening. People are just dying left and right. And it's like, that's just how it is.
NBD.
Yeah.
They're
burying bodies coming back up.
They are unconcerned about their body.
There's
and I don't mean like sexually.
Exactly.
I mean the literal bodies in the basement.
There's nothing grounded about this. There's nothing to hang on to.
No.
It's just what's going to happen this week.
There's a scary doll. There's the dead body of the brother. And then there's now the dead uncle.
Yeah.
So I guess they've only killed one person.
Yeah, right.
But it feels like they've killed more people.
Exactly. If the way it's done in this episode is just like a footnote.
Yeah, this is a very casual little. Cheryl's inheriting the family chaos.
Absolutely.
She's inheriting the Blossom family.
It's just so silly.
It's so silly. No, but she inherits like this mystery of Julian that her parents didn't tell her. All of this is also, it's like the secrets.
Julian.
So it's all the secrets that they weren't told. So like Cheryl didn't know about Julian. Betty didn't know her father was a serial killer. Jughead didn't know about his grandpa and the whole plagiarism thing. Veronica didn't know about Hermosa. And Archie is just trying to be like his dad.
Yeah.
He isn't quite like he inherits his father's mission. That's kind of what he's getting is this. I want to save this town and I want to do it right. Yeah. But I'm willing to work with bad people, which Fred would also do. Fred was not like as pure as Archie views him. Fred would negotiate, you know. And Fred had a DUI at some point. Remember we talked about it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's again another thing sliding back on Archie that his working with Hiram would have been a like big plot point, and it's coming up here, but like that it would have been like, ooh, you're crossing a line here, yeah. And maybe it'll come up in the next episode, but it doesn't feel like it has that same weight anymore.
No, nothing has the same weight anymore.
Archie's plan is good in many senses. Like, we need more third way spaces in general, and he's starting up a third way space. Boxing gyms, I get, like, you know, I've seen it in media traditionally played that way, but actually talking to your dad, talking to him about it, it was like he has like real stories from like kids in his classes that have like essentially been like, yeah, I hit the wrong side of the tracks, and then I had this boxing gym that this guy started that I was able to go to and get my life back on track. So it's like at least,
and yet they all freaked out when I dated a cage fighter in high school.
What it's like,
have you know, he was not that cool then. He was not that cool then.
But it's like a thing, you know. It is a real thing of being able to at least provide a space for kids to go, so they aren't out doing like other things. Like that. That's like a real problem that we have now is that we don't have third spaces, and we used to. You know, like 80s movies where they're saving the community center, it became like a big like joke, but that was because they needed to save the community center, and now all those community centers are gone.
Yeah, we didn't save them.
Exactly. So like that mission is good. But like his vigilante thing, as we talked last time and related to like Batman, that's like very fascistic way of like going about and like doing things, because then you're essentially judging for yourself how things are right and wrong. And the way that he tries to help the kid is like he locks one kid up in the car instead of letting him go, and essentially putting the kid into some sort of record system, juvenile hall or whatever, getting him some sort of criminal record there to then come out, and then Archie's there to like pick him up from the pieces that we got there.
Because he has to hold them accountable in his mind.
Exactly. Because
I didn't say that's correct. I'm just
totally. Yeah, because he has this vision of that the system will work it out, right? As we're all told.
Well, he believes in the system because the system is enforced by his best friend's dad.
Right.
I think it would be different if FP wasn't sheriff.
But also the other thing too is Archie went to prison.
Yes.
And how did that work out for you, Archie?
Not well.
Exactly.
So he's trying to keep them out of prison by saying like, hey, look, you got like this isn't going to be like a prison thing because you're going to come with me now and I'm going to make sure you don't go there. It's like, I saved you. So now like, and you narrowly escaped a really bad fate while still receiving some consequences. So I think this will teach you a lesson. Yeah. It's like the teaching the lesson from Arrested Development.
Exactly. J. Walter Weatherman. Okay, we make a bunch of references to Arrested Development. If you haven't seen it, it is a joke where in their youth, to teach them a lesson, their dad would hire a guy to do some big dramatic thing, like because he had a fake arm, like his arm would get ripped off in some like dramatic fashion, like a door slam, or like they'd hit him with a car or something, and he'd tell him, and that's why you don't leave the air conditioner on. Like, you know, these like absolutely outlandish things that don't match like the lesson that you're trying to teach of like whatever you need to like fix. And yeah, it's kind of in that same, and it's very what's the term for it, where you're like almost like talking down, like it's like I know what's best for you. Yeah, but it's like a way. Yeah, maybe condescending. It is condescending. Yeah,
But
In a
you
way.
could have had a better word. I'm not opposed to a better word. I just can't think of any.
No, I can't think of it either. But yeah, I just find Archie's whole thing is just like, okay,
How well do you know Heart of Darkness?
not
I
super
don't.
well.
I don't think I read. I think I read it recreationally. I didn't read it in school, so I don't know it in the academic sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we talked about it on a previous episode. Was it for Sabrina? Or was it for Riverdale?
I think it was Sabrina, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we have talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just know Mr. Chipping quotes it,
Right.
but I don't know that. Like, I don't know it well enough to like really take that and run with it. And I did not do the research on it. I apologize to all of you.
No.
But I thought I would love to dig into that and kind of see like what he says before he jumps out the window,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
At
let me
least
look
the
it up.
summary of like Heart of Darkness is in Africa. There's like a specific trader. I forget what the actual like business is there. Maybe like ivory or something like I think it's ivory. There's a man, Kurtz, who is essentially gone AWOL and is like essentially like set himself up as like the leader of this like tribe. Establishing of a guy like a god figure. You kind of figure that out over the course of the book, and then our main character is tasked with going and retrieving Kurtz, and going down and essentially seeing firsthand the impact of like the British colonialism that's like taking place in, I think, in the Congo. But you're traveling down this river and slipping into the depths of like the darkness that is like set there. So maybe that's related to, I don't know, following down this mystery of like how, essentially like the rich taking from Forsyth.
They'll be discussing Heart of Darkness about the loss of a man's moral compass. He says that in the episode. I was like, he says something very specific that I was like, okay, it's the loss of his moral compass. And then he looks away from Jughead ashamed, and then he jumps out the window.
I see.
So you're supposed to interpret it as he's feeling guilty for like not helping Jughead.
Right.
But like, why jump out the window?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is making you perform these actions also? Because like, part of that is like what drove our main character to not succumb to the darkness of the Congo, and also I think Kurtz of what has allowed him to do this to the people of the place, and what has essentially caused Kurtz to have this like break.
And so Mr. Chipping has, in theory, metaphorically had that break and cannot live with the cognitive dissonance anymore.
Yeah. Kurtz on the other, Kurtz is like essentially to then subjugate people and things of giving into a baser instinct or something of the British colonial. But yeah, if I'm misrepresenting this, it's been since high school, so over.
I feel like that was a lot of information for that long ago. You did good. I'm proud of you.
Because whenever we did this recently is when I pulled it up again, and I at least like kind of looked at articles or things and some Wikipedia. But
that was like the big thing that I wanted to talk about. Was there anything in this episode that you are really into that you want to talk about?
No, I that was I literally wanted to talk about like Archie's thing.
Mm-hmm. And Sketch Alley.
Sketch Alley.
Stay out of Sketch Alley.
True comic books.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fun. Like, lean in.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be this, lean in, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
that is it for this episode, I think.
All right.
So you can find us on all your podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube for the video version at dead_ends.
You can watch me wink at you randomly.
That's right.
As I practice my winks.
We're practicing. We're gonna get better.
Well, you can. Some of us might have already peaked.
No, don't say that.
With my winking?
Yeah. What?
This might be the best I can do, and that's fine. You know what wink I think about a lot? I'm going to talk about the Harry Potter movies. And yes, we think J.K. Rowling is an absolute piece of trash, and fuck that shit. But in the sixth Harry Potter, Gary Oldman.
It would have to be fifth.
Oh, yeah, because
He done died.
died. He
Not Gary Oldman, the character.
Yeah, Gary Oldman's Sirius Black, winks at Harry when they're sitting at the table at number 12 Grimald Place. Is it number 12? Whatever. When they're at Sirius's house. He winks at Harry when he comes into the room to sit at the table, and he does a wink where it's like he lifts his lower eye up, like his lower eyelid up, and it's just such like a good like dad conspiratorial. I'm so good at English. Conspiratorial like older male like mentor figure like wink like, and I was like, that's such a cool wink, and like I don't think the bottom of my eye moves up.
Yeah, as my entire face is like moving up.
Yeah, I'm like having a twitch over here. But anyway, I think about that wink all the time because it's so subtle and it's so good, and I just wish I could embody that vibe. Unfortunately,
we'll get there maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's why we don't do Botox, is so we can practice our winking.
Exactly. Yeah. We need all
the muscles of our face to move.
Exactly.
I want every frown and laugh and smile line, hopefully more laugh and smiles, to appear on my face because I earned them.
More laugh than smile?
Laugh and smile. Like more so than frown.
You said more laughs than smiles.
I would like to laugh more than I smile. Yeah. And I'm personally very over it. Oh,
I think
our corgi timer. Oh, there's an ear.
Exactly. You see him. Yeah, that's our, he's playing us off. All right. You can leave us comments on our YouTube. We love talking to people there. You can also write us to deadendspcast@gmail.com. That email is in all the description boxes of our episodes, and you can send us questions about the episode. We'll actually be taking those eventually toward the end and doing a question episode on all these. So if you have any of the shows we're covering now or just television or anything you want to ask us, you can send it in there. And also, if you want to send it on YouTube too, you can also just let us know to like hold it, or it's like for the podcast. All our art is done by Vendrinic, and you can find the link to their Tumblr on all the podcast descriptions. And you can also find us on Blue Sky at Dead-Ends, and then you can also find us on Instagram at Deadends. Full username is deadendspcast.
Well, we don't fit in.
We're not gonna fit in. I'll see you next week.
We love you.
We love you so much.
Be brave.
Yes, be brave. Yeah. We're sending you our bravery, and, we'll receive yours. And with your spirit.
And with your spirit. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. I was like, she is not warmed up.
I always think of the fake ones at the start of Anchorman. It's the arsonist has oddly shaped feet, and the Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
This wouldn't even work.
I know. That's what I find them so funny. Oh, they're really dumb. But
I know I've seen Anchorman. I could not tell you a damn thing about that movie.
This is exactly I don't know if you've seen the post. It was just like before the internet, like all we had were movies like Billy Madison had to like last you like 6 months or something like that. That's exactly like how I think of Anchorman.
That is hilarious and true. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready now.